It wasn't until I was 9, probably, that I started to realize more of the significance of my family. It just kind of snapped.
12-year-old Yolanda Renee King is the only grandchild of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. She never met them, but her parents, Martin III and Andrea, passed down stories of their lives from the forefront of the civil rights movement. Do you call yourself an activist?
Yes, I do.
Great challenges produce great leaders. We have mastered the selfie and TikToks. Now we must master ourselves.
Yolanda is poised to follow in the footsteps of her family, already speaking out for equality.
We are going to be the generation that dismantles systemic racism, and we are going to be the generation that ends poverty here in America.
Echoing the messages of her grandmother.
We have more poverty in this country and certainly more hunger and starvation in the world.
Yolanda says that Coretta, who died 2 years before she was born, was more than the woman who married a king.
Are you inspired by the work of your grandmother?
Yes, she did a lot, and what most people don't know and they don't acknowledge it as much is that she was a human rights activist. So that didn't mean just racial equality. She worked on rights for the LGBTQ community. She worked on women's rights.
Coretta was an advocate for peace, jobs, freedom, and essential in lobbying to establish the national holiday in honor of her husband.
It's time to live the dream rather than just talk about a dream.
She persevered, and I think it's so important to acknowledge her, not just as a wife or the widow of Martin Luther King.
When did you get the bug to want to speak out?
I will say I've been lucky enough to be raised in an environment where we talk about social justice issues, and so I picked up what I saw.
For many, a first glimpse of Yolanda came at 2018's March for Our Lives rally in Washington, D.C.
I have a dream that enough is enough. And that this should be a gun-free world, period.
You nailed it.
I took a deep breath like my mom told me to do, and I spoke.
My name is Yolanda.
And before then, taking center stage at just 4 years old in tribute to her grandmother.
So in my squeaky 4-year-old voice, I say, "Hi, my name is Yolanda Renee King, and Coretta Scott King is my grandmother, and she said to be our best selves."
Of all the stories that have been told to you about Coretta Scott King, what stands out the most?
When she was little, actually, growing up, she was a tomboy. In between the ages of 11 to 13, there was a photograph of her, and so what's so interesting about it is that we look a lot alike.
It's clear that, like her grandmother, Yolanda will not hesitate to carry on her family legacy.
The most recent dream that I've had was actually my grandmother. She was hugging me and she was whispering to me, "You're fulfilling the legacy, keep on going," and all this uplifting stuff. And I was crying, and then when I wake up, my face feels wet.
You're gonna make me cry right now. What do you want people to know about you?
I want them to know I'm a student, I'm a daughter, I'm a niece, I'm a granddaughter, so I'm all of that.
Yolanda
So
King,
special.
carrying on the legacy for sure, right?
We're watching her very closely.
Absolutely, and it's hard to believe, but it has been nearly 3 years since Yolanda wowed so many at that March for Our Lives rally. She also told Sheinelle that she plans to help others speak up when she gets older by becoming a lawyer. And you can see much more of their conversation on today.com.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.